The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series.
Seeing that Izzy is really dedicated, and the other thing, knowing about training, of course my foot won't stop cramping. If it would, that might make it easier for me to concentrate on the line reads. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and this is probably the most anticlimactic return we have had from the hiatus yet. Technically, Dino Fury has already been back for almost a month, airing episodes 9, 10, and 11 on Nickelodeon. The thing is, those episodes already aired months ago on Netflix, and I decided to review them when they went up. And now we know that's set to happen again. Netflix is set to upload the second half of Dino Fury's first season on Friday, October 15th. At the moment, I think I'm going to just replace the Dragon Knight review slot with Dino Fury reviews until the show is completed. But I am working on some other plans, maybe some ways to consolidate videos and get things done a little bit faster, so we'll see what happens. But enough with the setup. For the first time since June 15th, there's an episode of Power Rangers Dino Fury out there that I haven't seen yet. So heroes, let's take a look at the 12th episode of Dino Fury, Super Hotshot.
Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel.
Yeah, and make sure you got your notifications set up by hitting that little bell icon.
Right you. What he said was, you can consider checking us out on Patreon or Ko-fi at Orange Ranger Videos.
No cold open this time. The show starts immediately with the theme song. Izzy is leading the other Rangers in her daily workout, which pumps Amelia up. I feel like her referencing that she feels strong enough to lift anything is a reference to her Sentai counterpart, but the only thing I can clearly remember about her is that she liked to eat. But where's Ollie right out? Warden Garcia! Long time no see. He's come to ask Izzy why there was a brochure for a gym sitting on his desk. And in his sock drawer at home. And inside his sandwich. Jeez, Izzy, Warden Garcia doesn't really look that out of shape. And even if he is, that's being a little passive-aggressive, don't you think? No, of course, these hints are being dropped for her. She wants to go and train at this new Hotshot gym with famed coach Belichek, like with the Patriots? So I checked Ranger Wikia, and this character is only ever referred to as Coach Bella. So I have no idea what Javi was trying to call her.
Excuse me, the f*** did you just say?
She wants an advance on her allowance to pay for the sessions. Hey now, at least she's not asking him to just pay for them outright. And even tries puppy dog eyes, which gave me instant flashbacks to my own youth. With my brown eyes, that worked for a long time. And even a cute little meow when Javi informs his sister that her dad is more of a cat person, which seems like something that she should have known, but anyway. He agrees, and Zato says, hey, that sounds like fun, and says that he'll join her. Ollie says that he's way too tired for that, and asks his new smartwatch to wake him up from a nap in 3 years. Amelia tells him to stop flexing, but he thinks she's just peanut butter and jealous. Weird scene with the villains. Slither and Mucus are out at this 6-foot-tall telephone tower out in the middle of nowhere. His super hacker, which looks for all the world like an old telephone headset hot glued to a radiation detector, has taken over the phone network. Calls to the Ranger hotline will now redirect there, so they'll be able to go and scoop up the Sporix before the Rangers even show up.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
The thing is, 9 times out of 10, calls to the Ranger hotline are for a Sporix beast, and those are pretty easy to spot. There has not been a single time that the Rangers have defeated the Sporix beast before the villains at least knew about it, and usually they get on over there. All of this seems to be kind of unnecessary. Anyway, Zato and Izzy head over to the new gym, which to the show's credit does seem to be a new set, if not a terribly complicated set. There, they run into Fern. Don't remember Fern? That's the girl that Izzy apparently had a rivalry with, the runner that got injured and Izzy had to give up winning the race to help her. Okay, so coming back from the hiatus, we know that other countries have already aired the entire run of Dino Fury. International spoilers are a thing, and I've already seen a lot of what's going to happen. So, I am not going to spoil the groundbreaking thing that is going to happen involving Fern, but I will just say keep her in the back of your mind for now. She's gonna be recurring. They also meet a new guy named Adrian. Then the four of them meet Coach Bella, who looks a lot like a blonde Mars girl, to be honest.
Sure. Why, don't you trust me?
So, a few months ago, I actually joined a gym myself, Crunch Fitness. And don't you worry, I have been hard at work wasting that monthly subscription fee by hardly ever actually going. So let me tell you from personal experience, the Rangers have this introductory session with Coach Bella, and her performance is right on the money. Almost overly energetic, super complimentary, and already working on that hard sell for personal trainer services. So we get a montage of them all going through the introductory training session, and a weird thing is, sometimes that training session moves outside of the gym, like to the park or something. You would think that showing them that they can work out outside of the gym would mean that they don't really need to pay for the gym. And yes, I know, practice what you preach, Mr. Paying for a gym membership I'm not using. Throughout the routine, you start to notice something about the coach, though. The athletes are really kind of doing all this work on their own. She takes them through one simple stretching routine, and after that, you just hear her saying, "That's nice form," and complimenting the athletes. Zato breaks a speed bag. Not really sure how. Is he super strong as well as being telepathic? And she says, "Nice job, but if that happens again, he's buying the replacement." But ooh, that line of thinking is about to get even worse. So the session ends and the coach says, "Hey, it's time to pay up." The four all decide to join up, feeling super pumped. However, this is when Coach Bella throws in something that was not previously mentioned. In order to sign up, the athletes will not only have to pay for the sessions, but a training uniform. Zato is iffy about this, but Izzy talks him into it. However, Adrian's parents only gave him enough money for the membership, not for the training uniform. The coach sees that Adrian is wearing basically a Rolex and says, "Hey, I've got a deal for you. Give me your watch and I'll give you a free training uniform."
Why?
He says that the watch is personally meaningful to him, but the coach accuses him of not caring about his training and basically guilts him into it. Zato and Izzy look at each other, deeply concerned, and in the next shot are walking away from the gym in their brand new training uniforms. I'll save it for the cons, save for this.
No, 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 no!
For Zordon's sake, they even look at themselves in the reflection of a window and say that their uniforms are really slick. They're solid black training uniforms. Can their Ventaran doubles reach through and slap some sense into them, please? The Rangers then hear people screaming and see them running and decide to go investigate. They see Slither dumpster diving. No, seriously, he's digging through a trash can, finding a Sporix. They confront him and he blasts at them, sending them away a bit. The blast grazes Izzy's shoulder and tears her uniform, and I'm calling it right now, that coach is going to say that uniforms have to be in pristine condition and she's going to have to buy a replacement. The Rangers morph as Slither summons henchmen, and they go straight for their dino keys. Zato pulls the balloon key, Ollie the hyper key, Amelia the lasso key, Izzy the Blur... Okay, really quick, I have to stop and mention this. The girls' line reads on the keys were incredibly muddled. Amelia is actually using the muscle key, and Izzy the blur key.
Do you think you could speak up a bit?
Hobby's using the grabby key, but I heard that just fine. This is actually a nice quick fight that showcases the different abilities of the Dino keys. Zato uses the balloon key to inflate Slither into a ball, then switches over to the hyper key, so I guess there's more than one, and does a very visually impressive hyper strike. And all of this was for nothing, as Slither keeps the Sporix and escapes with it. Izzy says that she thinks she can fix up her uniform. They head to the gym next day where everyone is suddenly wearing the uniform, even people that weren't initially signing up for their class. And what's his face? I don't know. Hang on, let me look. Adrian. Okay.
Yo, Adrian!
Adrian is sad, telling Izzy that the watch was a gift from his grandfather. Izzy half-heartedly tells him that surely his grandfather would want him to follow his dreams, and this training is going to make him a star athlete. Coach Bella shows up and then says, all right, first on the docket are weights. Izzy says we should really stretch first. Coach Bella claims that was just a test, and she passed. In fact, she can lead the class through the stretching routine. She does so, but we do see Coach Bella cast a nasty glare at Izzy's stitched up shoulder. I didn't mention this, but earlier during the free trial, Coach Bella told Izzy that she thought she was the best athlete in the class. Why is this relevant now? Because Coach Bella walks over now to Adrian and tells him that she thinks he is the best athlete in the class. Okay, so maybe she changed her mind. What's the big deal there? She then walks about 5 feet further down to Fern and tells her that she thinks she is the best athlete in the class. It sure is a shame that she didn't notice Zato standing at the free weights right behind her. I mean, besides him overhearing all of this, she could have told him that he's the best athlete in the class. The class is dismissed, but indeed, Coach pulls Izzy aside and says she's going to have to buy a brand new uniform. Oddly, Izzy doesn't tell her that it was damaged in a monster attack. I mean, she doesn't have to admit to being a Power Ranger, just that she was in the area and that happened. Just saying that the uniform was kind of expensive and she's sure that she can patch it up better. Coach Bella says that Izzy is a perfect athlete, so she needs a perfect uniform.
Trust in me.
At Buzz Blast, 3 of the Rangers are there for no particular reason. They don't work there, and think about how much you get to hang out with your friends where they work while they're working. Anyway, Izzy is upset about the new uniform thing, and we get the flimsiest of connections to the comic relief. Jane and Jayborg, who I cannot begin to tell you how much I have not missed, are reviewing a new athletic assistance robot. Maybe that would be a cheaper option than the gym? Or maybe that doesn't even apply because this thing gives you water and towels, and what Izzy wants is an athletic trainer? What gets me the most about this scene is something that I pointed out Dino Fury doing before, and weirdly, I kind of like it. The way this scene is structured into the script just screams the writers going, we have to include this, so here it is. After the flimsy connection to the plot, Jane gets pelted with water and towels, etc., etc. Then the Rangers turn around, and Izzy just starts talking again like she never even stopped. Like nothing ever happened. Because nothing did happen. Nothing worth caring about anyway.
Moving right along.
Zato chooses this moment to tell Izzy about the coach buttering everybody up, telling them all that they're the best athlete, but she just excuses this as the coach being ultra complimentary and motivating everyone. She feels like this training is really important to her career. Her career? Izzy's in high school. She is an amateur athlete. But she can't ask her dad for more money, which is, granted, very responsible of her. The Rangers, seeing how much this means to Izzy, pool their money together to get her another uniform. It was a touching moment of love and teamwork between this Ranger squad.
I have several questions.
How does Zato have money? Seriously, he pulls out a wallet and hands her American money. Where did that come from? Zato did not get the job at Buzz Blast, and we haven't seen him get a job since. Where is he working? Or did he just sell some old fossils they had in the basement of the ship? Set up a nice little nest egg, maybe invest in some Dogecoin or something?
Okay, dude, calm down. Take a chill pill.
Shut up or f*** off, ideally both in either order.
Funny enough, my remark about Dogecoin there is actually remarkably close to a joke Simon Bennett made when this question was floated in his general direction, saying that Solon had been investing in the stock market for ages. Twitter canon. Izzy heads to the gym to get her new uniform, finding Coach Bella in her office. Seeing Izzy's dedication and knowing that she knows some stuff about training, Bella invites her in on her little scam. Yeah, Bella gets a bit cartoonishly evil here, inviting Izzy to be a trainer with her so they can make some serious bank. She even puts on Adrian's watch, saying that these chumps will give her just about anything to work out at her gym. Sure, she flatters the athletes. That's what keeps them paying. Oh, but not Izzy. Not Izzy, of course. Izzy is a real super hotshot. Oh, by the way, Coach Bella, what did you say Izzy was?
Roll credits.
Izzy is disgusted, deciding to use the money the Rangers gave her to buy back Adrian's watch instead. She basically tells Coach Bella what she can do with herself and leaves. Javi was bringing her a smoothie and she runs into him outside the gym, and as emotional as this scene between them is, for some reason what stuck out to me is this gym, Hotshot's gym, has a really clever logo. It's a barbell seen from the side, which naturally forms an H that has fire coming out of the sides.
That was totally wicked!
Izzy gets a call from her dad since she was supposed to be doing a training run in the forest, though that actually happens later on in the episode, and he saw a Sporix there. Izzy asks if they should call the Ranger hotline. He says that he already has. He just wanted to warn her before going to warn the campground. They call Solon and ask why she didn't tell them about the Sporix, but of course she didn't know about it, finally cluing the Rangers into the issue with the hotline. Javi and Izzy head to the forest to look for the Sporix, but it has already evolved into a Sporix beast, Bombshell, and has joined up with the villains. Are we going to get a story one day where a Sporix beast decides to help the Rangers instead? That would be interesting. Javi steps on a twig, alerting the villains to their presence. Slither blasts them, assisted by Javi and Izzy standing and watching the whammo ball a good 2 or 3 seconds before deciding to move. But hey, I mean, fair's fair. Izzy and Javi morph, and the villains just stand there and watch them do that, so I guess it's even. Slither fights the Rangers, telling Mucus to get Bombshell to the tower. The monster protests, saying, "I'm literally made of muscle." But Mucus says not to be a selfish shellfish. You want comedy in Power Rangers? That's how you do the comedy. Clever writing with puns.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
The hotline systems on the ship all check out, so the Rangers decide to call the hotline and see what happens. Mucus does a terrible Zato impression, so Amelia gives them a fake Sporix sighting to go investigate, and the two teleport over there. Weren't they headed to whatever the tower is? Oh, that must have been that cell phone tower. All 6 feet of it on a hill somewhere. They only find the 3 Rangers there instead. The fight begins, but we cut immediately back to Hobby, Izzy, and Slither. I thought we were going to be doing kind of a back and forth thing, but we actually finish things up with Slither, who retreats. Solon tells the two where the hack is, and they teleport over to the tower, finding Mucus and Slither there. Mucus gets oddly brave, defending her best friend, maybe, saying the Rangers are going to have to go through her to get to the tower. Izzy says, ew. No, and we get the Dino Daggers again, and Slither instantly knocks them down harmlessly. Why do these things exist besides to sell toys? Because even the Rangers exist to sell toys. Back over with the three Rangers, Bombshell releases a fog that limits the Rangers' visibility. Amelia accidentally attacks Ollie, who she thought was Fogshell.
Who the f*** is that guy?
Yeah, this is where I caught the naming issue with the monster, so you can go down and delete those comments now. The monster's name is not Bombshell, it's Fogshell.
But that's not a joke.
That doesn't make any sense. If you're going for the same similar sounding sort of pun, it doesn't really work. And as far as I can tell, this is a clam monster that can fire explodey things. Bombshell. Heck, Fogshell just sounds like ability name monster type. I mean, this is the Shovel Knight of monsters.
You lose! Good day, sir!
Fogshell uses the distraction to escape, and the three Rangers go to help Hobby and Izzy. They all summon Dino Daggers this time. Hobby and Izzy doing so with the swords that they just didn't have because they threw them as Dino Daggers. Oops, Izzy declares that Slither can't block them all, so then the Rangers throw their daggers from 5 different... Okay, no. 3 of the Rangers throw their daggers from the same angle, Slither blocking them all. And then Hobby throws his, Slither blocking that one too. And then Izzy throws hers, and Slither blocks that as well, just happening to block it directly into the hacking device, destroying it. Why say you can't block them all if you're not... I feel like the Hasbro guy in the Power Rangers writing room just said, sell the Dino Daggers. No, I don't care how you do it, just write them in, just do it. And the writing staff went, I mean, hey, pointlessness worked for the comic relief duo. Why not here?
Who knows? Not me. Who cares? Ditto mark.
You know, I sometimes wonder why I don't seem to be more warmly embraced by people officially associated with producing Power Rangers. And then I write and say stuff like that. Oh well, not gonna pull my punches, gotta call it like I see it. We get a dang near pointless scene on the ship where Solon tells the Rangers that she actually installed a firewall on the hotline this time, and she didn't do that before because... And Izzy says she has her own scheme to foil. Izzy shows up at the meeting place for the trail run that I mentioned earlier, giving Adrian back his grandfather's watch. Bella shows up thinking that Izzy changed her mind, but instead she blows the roof off the operation, informing everyone how Coach Bella has told them all that they're the best athlete in the class, and we're up to like 13 people at this point. The funny thing about that is that really could be considered a genuine motivational tactic. It's not a really good one, but still. Better the you have to replace your expensive uniform to stay in the class. Or the she made Adrian give her his grandfather's watch to get the training uniform. Or just possibly the she literally told me that this is a scam, called y'all chumps, and said we can make a whole bunch of money off of you together. Everyone quits the class and Bella angrily asks who's going to train them now. Izzy says she will. You know, that's pretty clever. A decent way to get her a job. Maybe some story down the line where she even opens her own gym. Oh, Izzy's going to train them for free. which overcomplicates the moral, which I'll explain in the cons. Which I just realized I actually don't explain in this video, I explain them in the other video. So hey, if you want to hear more about that, make sure to check out my Just the Facts video on this episode. In the meantime, let's balance the scales. Episode 12, Super Hotshot. Pros, clever plot with a non-influenced, just bad person. Tessa Rao's excellent acting, and the Dino Fury family. Cons, the moral is muddled right at the end, Jane and Jayborg being carved into the script, and the weird focus on dino daggers. A solid episode with weird but minor stumbles, but ultimately nothing terribly exciting. Super Hotshot gets 3.5 scales out of 5. Izzy is probably my favorite Dino Fury Ranger so far, so I love her focus episodes, and her acting really seals the deal. It's just that nothing really stood out in this episode. This was filler, not bad filler, but nothing really advanced the plot. Heck, Void Knight isn't even in this episode. The plot was kinda clever, but didn't really help the villains out all that much. The human plot was nice, but again, fillery. Dino Fury is back! Again. And next week, we'll be getting the rest of it all at once. And in a way, it'll be gone again. Let's take a peek and see if 13 is a lucky number for Dino Fury with the Matchmaker. Javi thinks Izzy has a crush on a friend and he sets them up on a date. But his assumption causes big problems when the monsters smell love in the air. Okay, so again, not spoiling anything, but yes indeed, this episode is going to throw some haymakers. This episode is nothing less than a historic episode, both in terms of Dino Fury's plot and the franchise as a whole. Unfortunately, I am dreading some of the responses I'm going to get after reviewing it. However, I am getting ahead of myself. That's going to do it for another Power Rangers Dino Fury episode review. Thank you folks so much, as always, for watching and for being a little patient. This one's coming out a little bit late. I was out of town at a wedding on Saturday, so I didn't get to watch the episode until later, and I'm catching up, etc., etc. Now that the video's over, you can let me know what you thought of this episode, as well as my review of it, down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button to let me know that you enjoyed this video. And if you're interested in any of my channel merch, like this sweet t-shirt, make sure to check me out on Teespring at Orange Ranger Videos. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. The second half of Dino Fury's first season onto its service. The second half of Dino Fury's first season up to with famed coach Belichick. I fart. So we get a montage of them all going through the training session. The blast that's what happens when you ad-lib. Zato pulls the hyper key. Nope, Zato pulls the balloon key. She was in the area and that happened. Just that it was expensive. At Buzz Blast, 3 of the Rangers are there for no particular reason. They can make some serious bank. Yeah! Talks all kind of evilly about how, God dang it. Like, number 1, I can't get this line right. Number 2, my toes won't stop cramping. Javi was bringing her a smoother. Izzy gets a call from her dad asking, finding Slither there with mucus. Finding Slither there with mucus. Amelia accidentally attacks Ollie, who she... Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the video. God, how do I even do this? That's going to do it for another Power Rangers Dino Fury episode review. Thank you so much as always for watching. Now that the video's done, yeah, okay.